Hey guys, welcome back to Sponge's Tech Tips. I'm Sponge. Hello, good to see you. It is a beautiful day up here in Woodinville, Washington. Blue skies. I don't even see a cloud in the distance. Nothing. We got the Boeing jets are coming over in droves today, in and out. All right, today we are working on a 2022 Kia Sportage. I think. Let me double check. Yes, Kia Sportage 2022. Funny enough, this has a production of '03, so March of 21, but it is a 2022 because the parts change between 2021 and 22. What we're working on today here, we're going to do a couple things. So we had a busted out rear window, which I've already put a new window in just in case. And then I took the door panel apart, and then we were waiting on the new door regulator. So what we're going to do on a how-to today is the removal of the right rear door panel, which would be almost the same as the left rear door panel. And then we're also going to go to the extent of taking off the inside mechanisms so that you can go all the way to the regulator and the window if you need to replace it like we did here. So first things first, let's go over a couple tools here that you can see here. I probably should point this out. So the people who own this use tape, most likely duct tape, some sort of packing tape to seal up their window, and that's a bad idea, guys. Just go get a new window. And you know, the other thing, dude, don't try to roll the window up and down after the window's shattered, because that's what destroyed the window regulator. It's like one of those things where if the alternator goes bad, it kills the battery, and if the battery goes bad, it kills the alternator. Well, in this case, the broken glass, if you try to make the window mechanism go up and down, you end up dragging it across all that broken glass, which tears up the plastics and the guides, and then you need a new one. And in addition, if you use tape and plastic to cover up your window, you're actually causing a lot of damage to your paint. This stuff's very acidic, and it can be detailed out, but sometimes it can't. So just, you know, be forewarned. So all right, first thing we're going to do is take the panel off. Let's move our regulator out of the way. Go over a couple of the tools we need. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. Something a little long. You can't use a stubby because it's in there a little bit deep. Not too bad. You're going to need my trusty little pan head or a pick. This one's kind of small, so you could use a pick if you wanted to. But I like the pan head because normally it doesn't do much damage. That's getting at this single little cover plate in here. Somebody else has opened this up before, so other than me, so it's been kind of gouged up. Maybe when they were trying to fix take care of the glass. But and then let's see what. Oh, you're going to need a panel popper of sorts. We got a plastic interior trim piece panel that can work. Just a counter leverage panel popper or the clamping style. But honestly, in this one, I'm probably going to use my hands, but we'll see what you want to do. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to take the door panel off. You're going to use your little pan head or a pick to get in and pry up this little cover plate. Now, I already removed the screw, and I'll explain why. But that's the screw that goes in there. It's a little Phillips. That's what you're going to use to unscrew it. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, the reason why I already removed it, is this hole is smaller than your hand is. You can't come at it this way because it's solid. And unless you have a little magnet or some needle nose pliers, it's actually hard to grab it. So I don't have big hands. I've got kind of average, maybe on the small side hands. But, you know, this might be one of those situations where having your son or daughter around, or maybe your wife, if she has small petite hands, she can reach in there and grab that screw. So okay, so once that screw is removed, that's the only screw holding this door panel on. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your panel popper. You're going to be sliding it in between the plastic and the metal. It's usually better to start at the bottom down here, but ironically there's just enough to where you can grab it with your fingers. If you reach down here, you can kind of, if I can get you can get your kind of hands up underneath there And then you're just going to put a little leverage and it pops off. Okay? So, and then you just kind of pull it and it pops a little bit as you go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is once you've got the little plastic clips, there's about 8 or 9 of them around the outside of the door. Once you get those, you're going to grab the handle down by that screw and you're going to lift it up. Okay? And it's going to unseat itself from the top, and now it's loose. Okay? So, I'm trying to do this one-handed, guys. I'll do my best. So, the next thing you're going to do, you've got these cables which go to the handle and the lock. You can see right there you've got that white thing. And this comes off really simple. It's really nice. There's a little tab right here. You're going to pop that tab forward and the whole thing just comes right off. It just kind of sits in there. That unseats it. Okay? The next thing you're going to do, you're going to go down here. There's a single wire. Try to remember where the button is for this. Again, there's a little push tab. Oh, we lost one of our plastic clips. Okay, there it is. So I've let the panel kind of fall over that way, and then if we get in here, you can see the little push tab right here. It's kind of on the underside front, so a little hard to get to from the back. So you're gonna push that little tab down, pull it out, and you've just unplugged the window mechanism. And at this point, the door panel is no longer attached. So we did lose one of our little plastic clips. We're going to set that aside. Let's grab that little clip there. Sometimes these pop off or they break, so don't lose them. And if you break them, replace them with something. Let's push this one back in so we don't lose it in the meantime. Okay. I don't know what the colors mean. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green ones, 1 yellow one, another green, and then 1, 2, 3 blue, and then another green. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 clips total, more than I thought. But okay, so that is it. Challenge number 1, the door panel is off. That's how you do that. Okay. Now on to the next thing. The window regulator is actually bolted to this panel, or not bolted, it's actually integrated into this panel. And you have to take this panel off to swap it out with a new window regulator. In addition, if you're going to be doing any window replacement, you have to take this off. Now, this is a little bit more entailed, and I'm going to do my best to walk you through it. We have to go through all the extent, including taking the outside door handle off. And we're going to do that first, actually. So let's go over the tools we're going to need for this now. So you may still need a panel popper, so keep those around. You don't need your little pan head, so we can set that aside. We are going to need our Phillips. And we are going to need a 10 millimeter socket. Again, I always prefer 6-point, but a 12-point will work too. And then you're also going to need a T30 Torx. You can see Torx. Now, I'm using a socket. You can use a driver if you want, but it's a T30. It's kind of hard to see in the sunshine there. There it is, T30. So, okay, so the first thing I guess we are going to need that little pan head. So the first thing we're going to do is at the end of your door, you have a little rubber grommet, and you're going to go behind it, and you're going to pop that little rubber grommet out, set it aside, make sure to put these in places where you're not going to lose them, okay? At the end of this door, you can see there's a single 10 millimeter bolt. It does have a number 2 Phillips in it, but the socket works best. So grab your ratchet and your extension. Let me hook these up. Again, doing this one-handed, guys. I'm sorry. And you are going to loosen and back that out. So now typically I pre-do all these, but I didn't realize this part was going to show up today, so I put it in somewhat permanent, so the glass was there just in case it was going to go get detailed or anything. So we've broken it free. I'm just going to use the the extension and the nut to back this out. And we're going to back this screw. So the screw does not come out, it just loosens. And you want to get that out as far as you can. And then it's got a built-in washer there that holds it on those tabs, okay? All right, set that aside momentarily. So the next thing we're going to do is on the outside, you are going to pull this handle forward, and then you're going to pull the little piece out, kind of comes forward, or it comes out towards you and back, and it comes off, and you can see that's where that bolt goes into, okay? All right, let's set that aside. Next thing is the door handle. So the door handle, once you get it to this point, you're going to slide it back. Okay, I don't know if you saw it. I just grabbed it firmly, slide it straight back. Don't pull it towards you, just pull it straight back and you'll feel it pop free. Once it pops free, you fold it out and your exterior door handle is also out. Okay? Okay, next thing we're going to do, grab your Phillips head. On the outside is a single little 8mm, and you could use an 8mm solder if you want, but it's not in there too terribly tight. It's just into plastic. So we're going to loosen this screw. It's super long. I'm going to remove that, set that aside. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do. So we're done on the outside, almost. We've got one more little thing to do, and I'll show you that in a minute. We've got this entire mechanism is going to come out with that panel. And there's a single little tab right here that's underneath that screw. And that's the magic switch, or not switch, but the magic clip that holds this whole thing on, is this little thing. But we're going to loosen that in a second, okay? Next thing you're going to do, you're going to take your T30. I'm dropping sockets here, guys. Okay. You don't really need an extension for this, but I already have it, so I use it all the time. The door latch is going to get loosened, okay? Now these have a thread lock on them, so they're a little hard to get out. You end up having to use the wrench for the majority of it. Yours might be a little tighter than mine because I did already remove these and I kind of broke that free. All right, I'm gonna get rid of my ratchet. I'm gonna use the extension and the socket so that I can just spin these out completely. Yeah, so I had already broke mine free, so my thread lock that was in there, the factory thread lock, was kind of broken up a bit. So yours might be a little tougher the first time you're taking it out. So there's one removed. There's two removed. Again, set those in a safe spot. And there is 3 removed. Okay, so that's it for our T30. Until we put everything back together. I dropped my 10mm socket, so let's get that. All right, next thing we're going to do, we are going to take a whole bunch of 10mm bolts out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 underneath the speaker, 8, 9. So I think 9 total. We're going to remove completely. Oh, I did forget something. There's something else I need to remind you. So, let me get this one screw out. Okay, so in the center of this plastic panel is a rubber grommet, a plug, if you will. We're going to pull out that plug, set that aside. Okay, this hole right here, this is where you're going to access the window. And ours is not attached, so I'm just going to slide it down. I'm sliding the window down, and you'll see right there is our screw. Well, our thing broke, but you saw the screw there for a minute. That's what you need to loosen to separate the window from the window regulator. Okay. Mine fell down, but that's fine. Mine's not attached anyways. I was just showing that to you. So if yours is still attached, you're going to need to line it up there, and you're going to have to line it up there and then loosen that. That's also a 10 millimeter. So I'm loosening all these hands. They're not, I don't have them super tight. Just tight enough to hold everything together while we were waiting for the new panel to show up. And let's see, you got one more underneath. Okay. All right. So again, I'm gonna separate it. I'm just gonna use the socket and the extension to back each of these out. Keep them all together. Now, if you're doing this without recording, it'll go a lot quicker. I'm doing everything one-handed, so everything takes twice as long. I don't recommend using power tools. If you've seen my videos before, I'm not a big fan of using power tools on these, the things that we do. The things I do are very light duty, and sadly the nuts and bolts and screws that we use for what I do are usually screwed into either plastic threads or things that are held in by plastic. And if you use a power tool like a drill driver, a drill with a driver bit on it, or an impact or anything like that, an air tool, you're gonna probably damage some of that stuff. And you can damage it removing it. You can also damage it putting it back in if you torque things down too far. And we've got one more to do here. Okay. And, all right, so all of our surround bolts are off. We've got to do two more things here. You've got a single 10 millimeter right here. You're going to need to remove this all the way. This is attached to the window guide, the window track on this back side. And that window track is attached to everything else we're going to be removing. So we're going to remove this one bolt. Sorry, my camera tilted up there for a second. All right, then there's one more thing that we have to do here. There's another single 10 millimeter with a large washer right here, okay? Now, you're going to loosen this. You do not need to take it all the way out, okay? In fact, I highly recommend you don't take it out. We're just going to loosen this so that way it gives us a little clearance when we're separating the black portion from the metal. So just bring that out 2 or 3 turns. It's still attached. You don't want it coming out, but it'll move in and out, okay? Okay, so that's that. I did put myself in a, oh, we do need to do something here. Actually, we don't for this next step, I'm sorry. I put myself in a tiny bit of a predicament here because I let that window go all the way down. I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. What you want is your window in the up position. Sadly, we don't have that option now, so let's see what we can do here. What am I gonna do here? I gotta get this window up, guys. I'm gonna pull a couple things here that have nothing to do with what we're doing, and let's see if I can sneak. I shouldn't have let that happen, so. Let me set up my tripod real quick. I know this probably doesn't apply to what we're doing here, but you never know. All right, I'm gonna set this down. Let's see if you guys can see. Kind of, I guess. I'll back it up a little bit. There we go. All right, let me see what I can do here. I got to get this window up. There we go. All right. There we go. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run this down, and with the 10 mil, I'm gonna loosen it just like you would. So let's put it in the position it would be where that nut is where you need it, right there. Okay. I don't know what the condition or the situation you guys are going to be in is. You know, you guys may be, your window may not even be in here. It might be all broken, whatever. Then you don't even need to worry about this. But because I attached the window to the regulator, I need to remove it. I need to loosen this bolt. I guess technically I made more work for us in the video because I was planning on this window being up for a few days before I did it. So, okay, so let's take that that single 10 mil and then let's roll this up. Get this out of the way. Now, what you can do, you can use a suction cup on the other side. You can use an airbag. I'm just going to put this rubber molding back in that I took out a second ago. I don't know if you guys saw that, but this will help just hold the window up while we do our work here. And let's keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't slide down and break on us. So, okay. So let's take this back. I'll keep you in the tripod at least for a minute. So everything here is now loose, but we're still attached out here. So what you're going to want to do is we're going to go back out to that handle and we're going to push this little tab in. See if I can do this one-handed. It's kind of difficult to do. It's a little tight clip. We might have to get a little, let's grab our little plastic. Maybe we can pop it free with that. There we go. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm sure you heard it. It popped in right there, okay? And then we're just gonna loosen that. And then you'll notice the back came unhooked also, okay? All right, now we're gonna go back around to the inside. And from this point, the entire thing is now loose. There we go. So you can see all this mechanism is attached out here, or not attached, however you want to look at it. So, okay, so we're going to pull this forward. You got to kind of maneuver it around the frame and whatnot, and we will pull it out. And drop the phone, guys. All right, and there we go. Yeah, we're upside down. There we go. Okay, we're back. So just like that, the entire panel is now separated. You got some little clips that you can pop free if you want to give yourself a little bit more access. But that's how you get that whole panel out. And there's really no way to easily get it out without disconnecting the door latch and the door handle the way we did it there. So, all right, and then we're going to be installing our new panel. This is a you know, I'll have to unplug everything, unclip everything, unscrew everything, and then add it all to this new one, and then we will just reverse the entire process to put it back in the door. So, all right, guys, that's it. Sorry it's bright out here. I got these dumb reading glasses on. Hope this helps you out. It's not too terrible. Obviously, the door panel is very easy. One of the simplest door panels I've done in a long time. It's only one screw, and then pop in everything. The rest is clips. The other part is a little bit more difficult, but once you kind of go through the motions and you figure it out, it's pretty simple. It all kind of comes out in one piece, and then it goes back in one piece. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Do me a favor, if these, God, it's so bright. We're not used to the sun up here in Washington State. Jeez, it's usually cloudy, but do me a favor, if you guys are enjoying this videos, please subscribe to the channel. I'm having a lot of fun making these. I've loved all the comments I've been getting lately. It's been pretty awesome hearing from people saying that I've helped them out. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Please let me know if this helped you out, if you have any other advice for me. Sometimes I can learn from you guys too. So that's, I think, the only thing we're going to do on this Sonata, or I'm sorry, on this Sportage. Sorry, too many cars. But I think that's all we're going to do on this one, and the next one will be a different vehicle. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.